welcome, Paul, to Crypto Captain. Firstly, really nice having you, and thank you for being here. And Before we start, I always wanted to mention this. I have been following you for quite some time, and I did watch quite a few videos of yours. And I think there's a particular video that you made where you covered about your whole life journey, and that video was actually really inspiring because I think you went through a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And trust me, it's really not easy. I know how hard it can be, and despite that you just kept pushing yourself. So honestly, very very inspiring. And of course, you're like the top G when it comes to cryptos and NFTs, right?
I
And in
appreciate it.
fact, yeah, and in fact, you are probably, if not the only YouTuber, you're probably one of the very few who predicted that Bitcoin's not going below 15K, right? I think
Right.
all over on YouTube, people were saying like it's going to 10K, 5K, and people are just going nuts.
I predicted a
Um,
range. I predicted 15 to 17K. I literally
right,
said 15.6K in that video, but I made a range of
right,
15.17K. But please keep in mind that could always go down. Yes, there's a
yeah,
low probabilities, and I said that definitely until the end of 2022, we're not going to go down lower. But now it's 2023. Narratives change, microeconomics change. I still think the bottom is in. I still think it's in that range. I'm just telling you, I might be wrong, right? Right? I mean, just
yes,
because I've been right 5 times doesn't mean won't be wrong the sixth time. Yes.
right. But you've been right until now, at least.
So far, yeah.
So so far, yeah. So great. So honestly, you've been very inspiring. So and Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of fun today, talking about cryptos, sector predictions, and a lot of various things. So welcome. And before we start, how are you, Paul? Something that you want to share? Something that you want to talk about? How have you been?
I'm doing great. I'm back home from hospital. For those people that know that I was in hospital for about 40 days, some major bone marrow transplants and chemo goes back before that. Doesn't really matter. We don't care about that right now. Right now, I'm here to answer your questions, any questions you may have. And yeah, please like this video and subscribe down below because I really believe in this channel.
It, thanks, Paul. So to start off, I think if we have to choose one crypto that apart from Bitcoin, right? Apart from Bitcoin, if you have to choose one crypto that people can probably buy or invest in 2023, what's that coin? What would you suggest?
Well, I personally would say Ethereum, but from what I hear, you have a dog shouting out Doge in the background.
Right. I think it's
I
always
know because
Doge is
my dog
always
will do the same thing. He loves Doge. I would say Ethereum. I would say Ethereum for one reason. Ethereum is the lead indicator of altcoins. It has more proof of concepts, been around longer, has great price action, keeps on building, and essentially, if altcoins do well, Ethereum will do well, and basically. If not, it may not outperform other altcoins, but there's less risk. It's more of a conservative play, and it should still do better than Bitcoin in a bull market, right? And don't forget about alt season. So I would say Ethereum.
right.
So it's a conservative play, a boring sort of play, if you will, for some people. It won't do that 100 or 1000x, but it could do very well.
Would you say Ethereum is the king of layer one? It's pretty controversial. I think we have a lot of people who love ADA as well,
Yeah,
um, and they won't like it. But
it's fine.
is ETH a king of layer one?
Until proven otherwise, yes. So what's built on ADA so far? A few couple of projects. What's built on Ethereum so far? I mean, come on. It's you can't even compare the two right now. If this changes in the future, it's a whole different story. But right
Right.
now, Ethereum is not only the king of layer one, it's the leading altcoin, it's the king of altcoins. When you want
True.
to, let me put this in perspective here. When you want to see when alt season starts or when altcoins will go up against Bitcoin, you measure Bitcoin with Ethereum and you look at the technical analysis between those two. So definitely Ethereum.
Right. Another interesting question, Paul. What do you think about Solana? I think we all know what happened with Solana right now
Yeah,
with, the FTX crash. Do you think will Solana come back? Do you think can Solana recover? Because the fundamentals are still the same. The developers are still backing Solana.
exactly.
But if you have to argue, probably the price of Solana was pumped to another level. So do we again see $250 in the next bull run, or maybe do we probably see $100 or something as moderate as probably $50 to $100? What do you think?
Well, let's break 50 first and then see what it does. Yeah, I always like looking at levels and ranges. Now, I haven't done TA on Solana for a while, but I'll tell you this. You're very right about mentioning the developers. The developers in Solana and generally in projects, they want to stay in projects that are relevant. So if you see Solana dropping under, I don't know, the top 20 cryptocurrencies or the top 25, and developers starts leaving, that's a red flag, because and developers will probably join another cryptocurrency or another blockchain, another layer one, or that will have more developers and more things going on there, because that way they can make money, they can develop on it, and they're not scared they might lose their life's work there. So generally it's very good to look at developers and what they're doing. Now, as for Solana itself, I personally believe, and I kept on saying this, that it's got too much backing to fail right now. Unless something goes completely wrong, like a black swan event in Solana, which it survived FTX, it survived all the outages, it survived the downtime. People still invest, people still back Solana. And this
Right,
was my argument. I called Solana $2, right? And
right,
at $70, when everybody was saying sell, I was saying no, it's going to do 150, pull back, then go to 250 at least.
right,
And then I made another video saying if it breaks 250 the next, and we still have a bull run, we'll go to 1,000. We never did that. I told people to take profits at 700, 5 to 700. So the way I see it, if in the next bull run, at the hype of that bull run, at least it should break all-time highs, if anything, or at least reach there. And if it breaks all-time highs, I'm still looking at a $500 to $700 Solana, but take profits along the way. Now, this can be wrong. Keep in mind, this can be wrong, right? That's why we look at ranges. Let it break 50 first. Let's see what happens at 100. Nothing goes up in a straight line, always pulls back. So you can add on dips. And that's what I like to call DSA, not DCA, but dollar
yeah,
swing average, not dollar cost average. So if you know some TA, you can just buy the swing lows. That's the way I see it with Solana.
yeah. Another interesting point, if I have to make, is I was just observing the Solana NFT marketplace, and there's a lot of volume still, even to
Yeah.
this day. So that's actually a positive sign for Solana, right? After a lot of things that's happened. What do you
The
think about that?
problem with marketplaces, cryptocurrencies, and especially NFT, there's a lot of fake volume. Now, I'm not saying this is fake volume. I'm not saying people trade between each other, but they are.
Right,
The same thing happens in the art world, right? They wanna keep.
right,
There's services you can buy when you work for a company that will give you fake volume, right?
right.
And
Yep,
I know this firsthand. Not that I personally did it, but I know companies that did it, because, as you know, I work in the industry. I work for companies as an advisor or C-level executive, so I know what's going on
right,
in most projects. But yeah, no, I see Solana, as long as the developers are there, as long as they're building, and you see that confidence, Solana should be doing okay. And you don't have to worry about going down, because it's being down like 8 times or something, and it's still around. So people don't really appear to
right,
care about that.
right.
And
Interesting
let me
point, Paul.
add, that's fine, because look at Windows. Windows, I don't know if you remember Windows, the infamous blue screen. We used to make fun of it. Windows XP, extra problems. Windows ME,
Yeah,
more errors. I mean,
yeah,
but now Windows is everywhere, and it arguably works perfectly, right? So that's
true.
what Solana's going after.
Yep. Great. So another important question. I think a lot of us talk about, crypto projects that we need to buy. But we don't talk about crypto projects that we should probably avoid. I think that's also
Ooh,
kind of important.
what a
What
great
do you think?
start. I love that. Go on.
Yeah. So, if we have to pick out probably three crypto projects that you would tell your investors or people that follow you not to invest, or at least to be cautious of, what would that be?
Stupid
We can start off
microcaps
with cryptos.
that are meme coins have no utility
Right.
in general. Now, I'm not saying don't buy any meme coins in general, like nothing at all. If you want to buy Dogecoin, I'm pro Doge, right? Because
Right.
it's a meme coin. It advertises itself as a meme coin. It has proof of concept as a meme coin. Arguably Shiba Inu as well. Those two meme coins, I would say fine, because it arguably Ethereum is to Bitcoin what Shiba Inu is to Doge, right?
Right. Right.
And it's debatable, but I understand getting the kings and the queen, let's say, because those will have massive profits if in a bull run, right? Or a certain bull run, if it's not this one, the next one, whatever. Why risk your investment into crap coin, shit coin, safe coin? It just doesn't make sense. It's
Right.
dumb. You might 1000x, you might 1000x to the downside, and it has no proof of concept. At least if you're going to go for meme coins, especially right now, go for the ones that have some proof, have some history, if you will, and maybe have a promise or not trying to disguise itself as something else. And please,
Right.
safe something, aqua something else. It's bullcrap. It's just like, especially right now, you should be investing in the top 20s anyway, and maybe mid caps in later on. Especially now, don't go for micro caps. It's stupid. You can still
Right.
100x or 1000x later on with micro caps in the hyper bull run or after the bull run. Please realize that even though I called the bottom, and if I'm right with a bull market starting, because I said it will reflect it in 2023, beginning 2023, even if we go down again, we'll go up, in my opinion, this year. The bull market has started. But you have to understand that you're not going to get that hyper bull market that goes up in a straight line yet. You still need time for that. It's probably going to happen after the halving. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to 40K, drop back down, then go up. So it will take time. You
Right.
have time to accumulate. This year is
Right.
accumulation year.
Yes. Yes. I think what's interesting is there are a lot of videos out there where people tell, in fact, they're on the verge of being slightly irresponsible, and they suggest all kinds of micro caps, which probably has zero use case, or it might even be a scam project. But there's a lot of projects out there that are being suggested out in the open, which people have no clue about, and kind of sell them hopes and dreams
Yeah.
as to it's going to make them rich. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's something that people should keep in check, like especially like crypto influencers should be a little more
Of
responsible
course.
about that?
Of course. And if you are a crypto influencer and you're getting paid, make sure you put the disclaimers, make sure you say it's a sponsored video, make sure you mark it as a sponsored video up in the top left corner. It's very easy to do that. And
Right.
call out the red flags, or don't do it at all. Like when people pay me to do an honest review, I literally do honest reviews. I'll call out the red flags. I've called a project a scam in the review, which I got paid for. They weren't too happy
Right.
about it.
Right.
But yeah, you could do it that way, and that way
Right.
you're educating as well. But if they have the cojones, I'm sorry, to pay you to do a review of a scam project, call it out as a scam.
Right.
Seriously, they were going to scam people out of money. Take their money. You're doing the honest review. You said it's an honest review. Shit.
Right.
And
Interesting
that's just my
point.
philosophy. I'm not telling you to do that. You can reject the project if you want, but I'm just saying what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. um yeah, moving on. Now I'm going to talk about two very popular projects. Like very strongly, they have a very strong knit community, and probably probably even crazy at times. I'm going to talk about ADA and XRP. I
Mhm.
think they have a very strong community, and
Two of my best calls last
some.
year, by the way, like the year before and last year, I called them very low. So I think I
Oh
called
wow.
ADA at 4 cents or something, and
Okay.
XRP. I did brilliant calls between XRP and ADA. We'll talk about them, but please tell me your question.
Sure. Yeah, so what I've noticed about the XRP and the ADA community is that, no matter what, they're just gonna be there for the community. They're gonna be there for XRP, they're gonna be there for ADA. And sometimes they don't that's just my opinion. Like sometimes they just don't want to read into facts, right?
Mm.
They just like, just want to like keep praising the coin non-stop.
Right.
But what do you think, but with regards to its fundamentals, what do you think about XRP and ADA? Are they're the big players for sure. They're in the top 10. But are they good investments for the long run?
Right. So it all depends on your perspective here. Okay, now just to clarify something, I said earlier on that I made really good calls, perfect calls. You have to understand I didn't make perfect calls on every single cryptocurrency, right? It's just that
Right.
it just happens that ADA, Solana, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum is something I'm extensively looking at or was extensively looking at. And when you concentrate on certain cryptocurrencies, you get to see more than just like looking into a project, investing and leaving it alone and looking at it all the time, rather than looking at it all the time like I did. So I have my favorite cryptocurrencies, for example, right? So let's keep that in mind. And XRP and ADA were actually two of them. So I sold my XRP right before the SEC case. I was looking at the charts. I saw that it couldn't get up a certain resistance. I warned
Right.
everybody, got out, told everybody to get out on my channel. And of course, I got the backlash from the XRP army. And then
Yeah.
basically the SEC news came out. XRP tanked. Everyone was saying buy the dip. I'm like, nope, it's going to go down even lower. Wait. No one listened, of course. I said, wait. And it went down lower. And I said, you need to wait. We had a bull run back then. So I said, listen, you need to wait until we break 60 cents, until we break resistance. It was 70, I put it down to 60. I think it was 17, I put it down to 60 later on. Can't really remember. It was a long time ago. And then XRP obviously didn't go up more. It met resistance, went back down. I said, get into ADA. ADA took off like crazy. And then I made the rest of the XRP, I put it into DeFi. So, and then I got in and out. I was going back and forth depending on resistance areas. Perfect calls. Now, the
Right.
problem with XRP, the biggest problem I see is not them making money, because they are going to make money. So is ADA. The way I see it in the next bull market, they're going to go up to all-time highs, both of them, and maybe even surpass them. Okay, but even if they don't need to go up to all-time highs to make money. Okay, it's not going to go to $10,000. XRP or ADA are not going to go to $10,000. I don't know where the hell they got that. I don't know where in the blue smurf
I
they
know.
got that
I just
information.
don't get it. Why do people keep saying like XRP is going to
I
10K?
don't understand it, because it's based on stupid shit that somebody talked about.
Yeah.
They said that it needs to be $10,000 for it to work. And no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It can be $100, it could be $10, it could be zero. It can still work. They don't even need XRP to make this work. They can just hire the company to make another cryptocurrency if the banks actually do accept XRP Ripple Net. And then they can use XRP or not use XRP, doesn't matter. And all this bull crap that is not made for the people, that's kind of stupid too. Yes, it is. Because XRP was given to Ripple, literally. All
Yeah.
right, so it doesn't make sense. Now, that said, I'm not saying you can't make 10x, 20x on XRP, but let it break all-time highs first, because an indication to see if a cryptocurrency is going to do well and go up 5, 10x the next bull market is if it breaks all-time highs. If it breaks all-time highs and we're still mid-cycle, then yes, definitely can go up a lot higher. And buying XRP now or accumulating now over time is not a bad strategy. But take profits along the way. I would take profits at $2, and then we'll take profits again at around all-time high. Then see if it goes back down and buy back. You can always buy back. Even in bull runs, even in mega bull runs, Bitcoin's going to drop 40%, and it's going to take other cryptocurrencies with it. More.
Right.
Right? So there's
Right.
always a chance to buy. You have like 2-3 time chances, maybe more, to buy in bull runs. And it's not going to shoot up overnight. It's just not. It's not going to get relisted like crazy, and nobody can suddenly buy XRP. That's not going to happen. Believe me, I'm a former marketing director of a fully regulated and licensed exchange. It's not going to happen. It takes time. These things take time. Okay? So even if you do think it's going to go to 10,000, believe me, you have time. You can even buy it at 1,000, 10x, right?
Right.
Play more conservative, buy it at $10, whatever. So
Right.
same thing with ADA. I do think it's going to reach its all-time highs. It's not just about community. Everyone's looking at community, right? Because this is like, and I know it's important. It's an important factor, but it's not the only factor. You have to understand that management plays a lot. If it's a scam or not plays a lot. If it's badly run, there's so much other factors that go. If the technology is obsolete, if the utility is not going to be used anymore, because over time, maybe it's a great utility. Who says this utility is going to last forever? Who said you're going to need this utility 2-3 years from now? It might become obsolete. Something might replace it. Someone, you don't know this. That's why I
Yep.
hate 5-year predictions. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. Right?
True.
Especially
True.
in Bitcoin, arguably you can, but the rest of the cryptocurrencies you just cannot.
Yeah. Some of
Um,
them may not like stay long enough as well, and that's something that people don't consider, right?
sorry?
Yeah. Some of them might not even stay long enough. That's something people don't consider, right? We
For
know
sure,
Bitcoin.
yeah, cryptocurrencies vanish. Look at the top 10, top 20 every single 3 or 4 years in every cycle.
Yeah.
They're all different,
Yeah.
except maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe XRP for the last years. Yes,
Yeah.
but everything else changes. And you have to understand that top cryptocurrencies can change. Yes, they can.
Right. Interesting point. I think this is something that a lot of people will have to, listen to and understand before they take calls on which projects to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And moving on, another important question. Uh, now I think every cycle, or probably once in 3 months, every quarterly, every sector, people start talking about a particular sector,
Yeah.
and suddenly a few coins from that sector start like shooting up, and then everyone's bullish. They're
Yeah.
all like going nuts. So what do you firstly, like, I think right now recently people have just started talking about AI,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are predicting that that's like the next sector to boom in the crypto market. So do you think 2023 or 2024 is bullish for AI? Do you think AI cryptos would
Yeah,
do
but
well?
everyone's going to get wrecked. An AI and an ISO 022 coins, 2022 coins, they're going to get wrecked. Those are the two sectors that are going to go up in hype. And then people are going to realize that cryptocurrency, they're going to start getting into this sector so they can make money. Everyone's going to implement AI or say they're going to make AI or put the buzzwords in their projects. And
Right.
then basically AI is going to take off, but a couple of projects are going to do well. The rest are going to die and people are going to get wrecked. And then the same thing is
Right.
going to happen with ISO 022.
Right.
Basically, they're gonna go up, but then you're gonna realize you don't need all these cryptocurrencies. How many do you need? Right.
Right.
So yeah, quant will go up on hype, but this will go up on hype, that will go on hype. XRP will probably be the leading one in that sector, especially if they win the SEC case. But then guess what? Post next bull market or huge drop, people are going to start panicking, selling. It's going to happen again, and people are going to get wrecked. Another sector that's going to do well is gaming, by the way.
Right. I think let's dive into it. I think I know a lot of people have been talking about gaming, and gaming's consistently been doing well as well. So, what do you think about gaming, and why are you so bullish on gaming? What's your take on it?
Because I know what's happening in the background because I'm in the industry. So I'm actually we're
Wow.
actually building our own game. So I know what's going on with the gaming industry. I know what's going on in the crypto gaming industry. By the way, the gaming industry really doesn't like the crypto gaming industry. They hate them, but there's a few players that are getting into it. So
Right.
so that's why I know there's going to be another bull run because over time, bigger players are going to get in, or players are going to get in, and it's going to be it didn't adopt as fast as people thought the first time. First of all, and second of
Right.
all, it's just a natural move. It's just a natural move because there's a lot of money to be made because gaming requires users, right? And yes,
Right.
decentralized gaming is extremely intriguing, especially if you combine it with AI. So if you're a programmer right now, you can literally make something like The Sims on a decentralized
Mm-hmm.
platform with AI. And now you have you're playing God because you don't know what the AI is going to do. This will take time, obviously, but the AI, you don't know what it's going to do. And you're literally playing Populous as a God and they have free
Right.
will. It's insane what you can do with games. Or the AI
Right.
can learn from your moves and become better than you and better you and so on. So and nice and you don't and the thing about crypto, and just need to warn people about this or give them a heads up is people can say they're going to build this project, give you a good compelling argument, and then you're going to invest and it might never happen. So be careful. Right. So but
Right.
there are games you can make out there And the gaming industry, not only is it a huge industry, there's a lot of talent that didn't make it in the gaming industry, which are going to move to the crypto gaming industry to make it. So a lot of
Right.
people are just learning programming right now. Programmers are learning blockchain to be able to make it and stand out in that industry. So
Right.
that in its own, is quite appealing to me. I would say gaming is going to do well. I also think NFTs are going to do well because they're going to give you access to games. By the way, check out bitbulls.io. That's
All
bitbullz.io.
right.
That's our project. Check it out. It's a long project. It's going to take some time to come out. You can't buy it. I'm not selling anything. It might take a year. It might take 2 years. Don't know. But check it out and see what we're building behind the scenes.
Will do, definitely, Paul. And good luck for that. I'm actually
Thank you very
pretty
much. I appreciate
curious.
it.
Um, Another interesting question I wanted to ask about the gaming sector itself. Although like I'm keenly looking into gaming projects and have invested as well. But one fear that I have is games come and go,
Yeah.
right? A particular game comes, it trends, right? And then after a while, something else comes, and people just stop playing
Yeah.
the other game. So, what do you think about it as a long-term investment? Because the trend keeps changing with when it comes to games. So, what do you have to say about that?
I think there's going to be a lot of mini games in metaverse, right? So me primarily, when I'm saying gaming, I also mean Sand and Decentraland. Gala
Right.
games might do well. I'm trying to figure out what's this news and everything they're coming out with all the time right now. But the price action wise, Gala games may do very well. And also PYR, I think that's Vulcan Forged. That
Right.
had some really nice price action during the bear market, and I think that's going to do well.
Right.
But other than those, right now, I'm not looking at anything. And if anybody asks me what to invest in right now, I would just say Sand and Decentraland. It's still very early for mid caps or low cap coins.
Right. And it's interesting that you spoke about Gala. I had invested about $1,500 in Gala, and it crashed by like 50%. And then recently we saw it like shoot up. I
Yeah,
think it almost shot up to like about 200%. I sold all of it and just like bought Ethereum. It just felt a lot better.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing you could have done is keep like a small bag to let it run, just in case.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think if you can get away from your marriage with cryptocurrency, I think that's perfect. So well done.
Yeah.
You can always
Yeah.
buy back
Thanks.
anything.
Yeah, that's something that I realized. And yeah, and also I mean, although I really love Gala, and I just love where they are heading. The more I researched about it, I just got a little bit scared because their tokenomics isn't too great.
Yeah.
And yes, they I think they are improving their tokenomics, and things like that's going to happen. But I
I
still
was
think we
about to say
might
you
be
can
a
always
little too
change
early.
them.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
It's what's really
So
cool
I mean,
about centralized cryptocurrencies. You can change them whenever you want.
yeah. Yeah, and it's always nice to keep your stocks in Ethereum, right? Because you're never going wrong with ETH. It
Mm.
always just feels a lot better with ETH.
Of course. Well, I'm a semi Bitcoin maximalist, right? But I
Right.
also like Ethereum because anything you want to do, it's mostly on Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're like in our game, it's on Ethereum, but we're using Matic or Polygon for assets in certain games, so or game aspects. So, but yeah, I very much agree with you.
Yeah. Moving on. Apart from you mentioned gaming, and I think gaming is definitely going to have a crazy bull run. What do you think about the metaverse sector of it?
Oh, I believe in
And
the meta. I believe it's before its time, but I believe. So when I'm looking at the metaverse, is this other than price, other than technical analysis, investors and companies getting in. When you have
right,
big companies getting in last year or the year before in Sand and Decentraland, right? And they just started coming in. Don't forget more companies that can come in, but also the same companies can double down. So
right,
I believe it's early still. And I do believe that at least one of those two platforms are going to do very well. So even if you take a venture capitalist approach, you can just bet on both. I think that's what the companies are doing. They're betting on the both biggest ones. I think it's going to go a long way. Now, it might be a long-term investment, and you never know what happens in long-term investments. But generally, I think that metaverse is going to do very well, and just the hype about it, just the news that comes
Yeah,
out for it,
yeah,
should pump the price anyway in the bull run. So either way, as
yeah.
long as you're taking profits, it should be a good investment.
Yeah, I'm in fact a big fan of the metaverse, and I think it's going to do really well.
Yeah,
In fact, I've also invested in the metaverse.
nice.
Just wanted to know your opinion about, other side. Do you think it makes sense to buy land? Let's say someone buys other side, and someone buys land in Sandbox, right? Do you think it's a good investment?
I was looking at buying land a long time ago, like in the beginning, and I didn't. So I pretty much missed the profits I could have made from there. I do have
Right,
some land, I think, in Cardano lands, but that's a sponsored video. They actually gave me land, full disclosure.
right,
And it wasn't to promote them or anything like that. They just wanted to give me land. Just, yeah, here you go. Say what you
got
want
it,
or don't. So that was
got
a
it.
good deal in my opinion.
Right.
Um, but generally, and I think I can't remember if I bought somewhere else. Now, Sand and Decentraland, I would love to buy. I don't know what the prices are like right now. It might be a good idea. But look at the housing market and realize that there'll be crashes in the metaverse, and there'll be
Yeah,
people with needing to sell, and it can price up, it will price down at some point.
right,
And if you look at this
right.
long term, you will have a chance to buy. So I don't know what the prices are like right now, if it's worth buying or not. I haven't looked at it at all.
Yeah,
Uh,
just to give you an idea, a Sandbox is being sold for like 1 ETH. That's the floor price,
that's the
which is
full
pretty
price.
decent.
What was it?
Yeah,
What was it in the bull market? Do you remember where it reached?
yeah. It touched about. I mean, its all-time high was 4.5 ETH, and
It's not bad.
ETH was also pretty expensive. So this and other side is at 1.5 ETH right
What
now,
about Mana,
and
the central land?
yeah, Decentraland is at about 1.25, 1.3.
So I would say it might be a good idea.
Right,
But again, I think the prices can go lower.
right, right. So you think it's a good possible long-term investment, like something where you can buy and hold for like about a couple
It
of
may
years at
be,
least.
it may be. I think you have to apply. See, if it was me, you'd have to apply certain conditions like location, 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 like you would in the real world. I'd have to study it more. It's not something I have a lot of experience with. I mean, I didn't buy any. So, but I would say it's a good, let me put it this way. It may be a good risk opportunity. If
Right,
you have 50 ETH or 10 ETH, maybe you want to put one in land. Let's put it
right.
that's the way I would look at it right now. Like if
Got
I
it,
would buy right now, I would buy just one. I wouldn't buy more.
got it.
But
Right,
that's just me. I'm more conservative in my investments.
right.
Even though it's not a lot of money right now, it's still an investment, and you have to respect money. If you don't respect money, it won't respect you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes
So I'd buy a plot, let's say. Uh,
sense.
but I'd still wait. We will have a dip, we will have panic, and everything will fall. And you can either buy it at the same price, or a bit lower, or maybe I want to buy it at 1.4. If I see it go up and then down to 1.4, and then makes that confirmation support, I'll probably feel more comfortable buying it at 1.4 than right now. I know that
Right,
sounds weird because you're buying it higher, but I have a price to go off.
right. Interesting. And what do you think about how do you think 2023 is going to be for cryptos?
Okay, so I think that whatever I was saying a year ago, when I say a year ago, I mean before summer a year ago, right? Because I was saying that in September, I called the bear market, by the way. I called the double top, not on the day, like Richard Hart, like some people will say real quick. But I
Right,
called the first top when we went under 52K. I said sell. And I also gave a warning to take profits right at 68,000, by the way. But that was just normal take profits. Like it wasn't something that I'm like, oh look, it's a top technical analysis, sell now. No, I just said take profits. Let's be honest here. But when we dropped under 52K, I'm like, okay, sell. And then I called the bottom at 30K. And then we went back up, and I said we're gonna have a double top, and we did have a double top. Essentially, went a little bit higher, whatever. And then when it dropped down under 50K and then 48K, I'm like, sell. That's it. We're in a bear market. I can't remember the exact prices I looked at, but I called it again. So what was the question again? Remember the question, man?
Yeah, what do you think? How is crypto looking for 2023?
Right, and I said that in 2020 the bottom's going to come in. I called the bottom at 15 to 17K, and then I said that the price, we're going to realize the bottom's in hindsight in the first quarter of 2023.
Right,
and that's what's going on right now. You see these big traders talking about it. And this is a black swan event. Bottom is it, right? And the black swan event can obviously change everything.
Right.
Now, so I'm looking at 2023 as bullish, but we might have one more drop, not to the bottom, but a little bit higher in the first 3 months. It all depends, but we might not. We don't know, right? I can I have to see what the price. If I was right about my thesis in order to be able to continue here, because right now we don't know. I might be wrong.
Got it.
So you got me in a range right now. We're in a range. If we break 21.5K and make it support with confirmation, I would say that we're bullish for 2023, no matter if it's now or later on. But if we drop under, let's say, if we drop under 17K, I would say at this point, then we have, even though I don't think we're going to drop under 15.6K, if we do, then we have further downside, and that would be caused for the black swan event, obviously. So we're in a range right now. I'm more bullish than bearish, but we're in a range. I can't say anything until we break out and see what happens.
Right. I think Bitcoin just broke 18K, if I'm not wrong.
It did today, yes.
It did. Right. Great. So one last segment. This is probably going to be fun. If you have to, apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Your top 5 cryptos to accumulate for the long term or the short term.
All right, I hate doing this, but if I was going to buy 5 cryptos right now and I had to, you put a gun to my head and you're like, listen, you have to buy some cryptocurrencies. You can't buy Bitcoin, you can't buy Ethereum. I would personally go for Polygon.
Right, probably the best layer 2.
Yeah, I would probably go for Cardano just as a hedge as well, because I think it's going to do well. I would definitely go into Sand and Decentraland.
Right.
And at this point, I'd probably go for some XRP.
Ooh, I think the XRP army is going to be really happy with that.
Especially with their biggest hater, their biggest bear, right? Because I have fights with the XRP army all the time, right? I would probably buy some XRP just in case, even though I don't think it's going to do better than other cryptocurrencies. I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to do okay. But those are the cryptocurrencies I'm going to do. Very conservative, very safe than other cryptocurrencies. But obviously, I would rather buy Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. Now, notable mentions, because you gave me 5. I would go with Cosmos.
Right.
And maybe Solana. So that's 7.
Right. I think it's always better to, stick around with the bigger caps. It's it's okay if you make small profits rather than losing a lot of money.
Right now, you can make huge profits, dude. The 10x is not a small profit. You can definitely 10x in this market. 10x is amazing.
But I think that's the thing. I think people get really greedy and they don't want 10x anymore. They want 100x. They want 1000x.
But what you do is you take profits and you put them into smaller coins when you know there's a hyper bull market. It's not the right time right now. Right now, you want to be more conservative. Right. And then you change later on. You have time to make 100x later on. You can make more than 100x later on. There's micro caps coming out all the time. Things change all the time. Right. things become obsolete, things disappear. That's why I wouldn't buy anything right now, other than top 10 cryptocurrencies, but like, or maybe 20. But right now is not the time. Polkadot is a great project. Do we know if it's going to survive? The utility is great. Do we know we need it?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
everything that's going on, do you know what I mean? Things change.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very smart. Like if people would invest in big caps right now, if they want to invest, take profits, and then
Put
invest
them
in the
into other
micro cap when
cryptocurrencies, yeah. Put them in micros, but
yeah,
later on, take half
yeah,
your profits in Bitcoin, or one third your profits in Bitcoin. Put one third in some sort of fiat or stable coin, and put one third in your micro caps. You'll be fine. Take a dart, throw it, you'll hit something good. I guarantee.
yeah,
The
exactly.
hyper
Like I
bull
think in
market,
bull market, yeah,
anything.
yeah. In a bull market, like you pick any coin and it's like 10, 20,
Exactly.
30. So great. I think you probably helped a lot of people as you always do. I think people are going to learn a lot from you. You've been doing great. I think a lot of them are really happy seeing you back on your channel itself. And yeah, I'm an Indian by the way. So all of us like namaste from India.
Namaste. Where are
Uh,
you from in India?
I'm from Bangalore by the way.
Bangalore?
Bangalore, yes.
Bangalore, yeah, that's where I was supposed to move there a couple of years ago.
Oh wow,
I got
okay.
sick, so
And
I was supposed to
oh,
move
oh,
there and work with a company up there, in
oh, is
land
it?
banking. Yeah. It was a C-level position. It was land banking, but I ended up not
Oh,
going there. But I looked
oh,
into it.
that's
Great place. Lots of tech.
yeah, yeah. And if you ever come down to Bangalore, we should definitely meet. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I would love to, man. I would love to. If you come to Greece, let me know.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Paul, one last message for the Crypto Captain audience and for all the crypto enthusiasts. What do you have to tell them?
Take profits. I'm serious here. Take profits. The last thing you want is when you get invest in cryptocurrencies. A lot of people just sit there and hold and wait. Yeah, we've
Right.
seen what that does. It gets you back down to like where you got in if best. Take profits, pay off some debt, do some sort of investment. I'm not saying you take out your initial investment. Take 25%. If you put in
Right.
$1,000 and you made 5,000, take out $2,000. Pay off some shit. Buy yourself a motorbike or something. Buy yourself a helmet first, right?
Yeah.
Take profits. Don't like you're getting in this to make money, right? Make some money. There's a saying in trading, and it certainly applies to cryptocurrency. Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Don't be greedy. Don't be the pig.
Yep. I think that's a very important message. I think people do end up taking profits because we really hope nobody gets wrecked, right?
Yeah,
Nobody wants that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
yep. Thank you so much, Paul. We had a lot of fun talking to you, and a lot of advice, important points for everybody to note. So thank you, and I hope you're doing great. And we'll definitely have another session and probably talk more about cryptos and NFTs and educate a lot more people.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to this channel you're watching this video on right now. Make sure you push the like button and make sure you check out the Crypto Factor as well. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.